Okay, great. Thank you, Jenny, and thanks for the opportunity just to present here today. I'm excited to join this group and talk about what we're doing at CytexOrtho to change the way early joint disease is treated in young patients. And this really affects all of us. We all know someone that's affected by arthritis. There are over 32 million Americans who are currently suffering from the most common form, which is osteoarthritis, but they're younger than you'd think, with 60% being between the ages of 18 and 64. They avoid joint replacements in general because a joint replacement at an early age will require a drastic lifestyle change to maximize the longevity of the implant. But they really don't have any other solutions. There are no treatment options for this patient. The data tell us this, but then we also get interaction with patients on a day-to-day basis. And this is the reality for so many patients that are concerned about their future self. So they just put off total joint replacements and choose instead to live with chronic pain. Dr. Vale is on our clinical advisory board, said it well. We need to stop pretending that a total joint replacement is the final answer. It is not. We couldn't agree more. And this is coming from someone who made a living replacing hips and knees while he was at UCSF and Duke University. So Renew Hip is a solution for this active patient. Instead of replacing the entire joint with synthetic metals and plastics that are supposed to last a lifetime, we're just dealing with the damaged portion of the joint, replacing the anatomy and restoring the contours of the joint, but importantly, restoring the mechanics from day one, as you can see in this animation. And it's designed from the ground up to get these patients back to their active lifestyle as quickly as possible. And then over a period of 2 years, the implant is slowly replaced by functional tissues. And this is important because it preserves all future intervention options for this patient. So how do we do this? Well, we do it by combining two pretty special components in the manufacturing process. One is a 3D woven textile, which is really our secret sauce and got us started. The other is this true 3D printed layer, and the combination of which mimic the healthy tissues in the body and help us to replace the arthritic zones in the joint. And this is what I'm talking about as you have some inflammation, and inflammation inevitably leads to deterioration of the surfaces, and you have these defects and these deformities. And then we're able to restore that with our implant. And this is a key differentiator between us and other cartilage repair technologies, namely that we restore the anatomy and the contours from day one. We integrate with native tissues within 30 days, and then it absorbs to transfer that functionality to native tissues. And we've done the animal trials to show that this works. This is an animal study that we did in a canine model, and you can see the control, which the standard of care is used. This is supposed to be round, it's supposed to be spherical. You don't have to be a pathologist to understand this is a failure. And then if we look at Renew Hip here, we've maintained the sphericity of this joint at this 1 year time point. We've integrated with native tissues, and we've also transferred the functionality to the native tissues at this point as this implant is absorbing. And this leads to direct restoration of the activity levels of these animals. And you can see here, if we compare Renew Hip to the osteoarthritis control in terms of motion, pain, and restoration of activity, we were successful at 3 months of getting these animals back to normal. So a little bit more about this technology and the market that we're trying to address. According to data from the CDC, there are over 1 million patients under the age of 65 with chronic hip pain due to osteoarthritis. And this is really our target demographic. We know that only 20% of this patient population will proceed to a hip replacement at that young age because they are concerned about the quality of life and future revision surgeries. So that means 80% of this population will just choose to live with chronic pain and disability for as many as 8, 9, or 10 years before they'll submit to the inevitable of a total hip replacement. These patients need better solutions. This equates to a $5 billion market by 2030, and currently CytexOrtho is the only player in this hip preservation market. So in terms of where we've been as a company, just a little bit of background, we were designated a breakthrough device by FDA. We have incredible validation from our scientific colleagues with 18 million raised through non-dilutive grant funding, and we're published in over 20 peer-reviewed journals. And then incredible validation from the largest orthopedic society in the world, the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, having won the Kappa Delta Award in 2021, which is the highest award in orthopedic research, and that went to the 3 founders. And that award and the technology embodied in that award is found in our technology. And then we won the inaugural ortho pitch competition early last year. So who is Cytex? Well, I started my career at Medtronic. Frank is our resident textiles expert, which is really important for what we do. And then Farsh is world renowned for his work in regenerative medicine and tissue engineering. And it was started when the three of us were at Duke University. We have a world-class team of advisors with Dr. Clohisi and Bole having written the book in adult hip preservation surgery. And then we have a team that really cut their teeth at the major medical device strategics who've sat on both sides of the M&A table. And I think it's a team that's really poised for success. In terms of our timeline, we're in the clinical stage of our company now, which is really exciting for us, having that huge milestone last year of the IDE approved, and we're currently raising a $2 million bridge round. And the next few years are all about collecting clinical data with exit opportunities along the way, and some procedure development to do as well in hip and other joints. The $2 million bridge round will take us to the pivotal trial. And then we also have a series of exit options with valuation potential rising according to clinical data and the quality of that clinical data that comes in. So in summary, we're an innovator in joint preservation. Our motto is to restore, not replace. We have IP protection, breakthrough device designation, considerable non-dilutive funding. It's a great market opportunity with clinical trials beginning this year, and we're seeking partners to help us maximize this opportunity. So if you're interested, please contact me. Thanks so much.